It is the 23rd of December. This is Rabbi Furst, Mishna Berura.
All of them go up to Duchen, to the platform. Lemi Mevarchim, and to whom are they blessing? La'achechem shebasadot, to their brothers in the fields. Umiyoneh achareihem, amen. And who answers after their amen? Anashim v'hataf, the women and the children. V'im yesham yoter me'asara, and if there are more than 10 kohanim, hayiterim me'asara ya'alu v'varchu. It's going to say extras. The ones beyond the 10, those kohanim who are more than 10 will go up and bless. V'asaraonim achareihem, amen. And the 10 answer after them, amen. Okay.
That brings us to Sifkat in
Kufu. Right. Okay, so Yoter Me'asara. Hatam Dikevan Sheyesh Asara Gedolim Sheyuchlu La'anot Amen Al HaBracha. Okay, so let's see the time. The reason is that since there are 10 adults that will be able to answer Amen on the bracha, Mutav she'yit kamu shnehem. So let's see. So it's better that the shnehem, both of them go up.
So again, the reason is since that you have 10 adults that are able to answer Amen on the bracha, it's better she's kaimu shnayim. It's better to fulfill both, right? Meaning the bracha and the Amen. Mixes olim sorry on Amen. It's
okay.
Because if everyone go up to Duchen, then there would no one to answer Amen, right?
Right.
So therefore, you do the remainder, the smaller amount that go up to Duchen, and the other 10.
And the 10, right, will answer Amen. Okay.
Good.
That's interesting. Okay. Kufalef. Let's see, we did that, right? Yeah. The Asara, the Ha'ar Asara, Onim v'chule. So that the 10 people should answer, or the 10, in this case, Kohanim should answer. The Afal Gav de Kaimalan La'el B'Sif Aleph de Nisiyat Kapayim V'Asara V'Hakohanim Min Haminyan. Okay, so let's see. Nonetheless.
Or even though even though.
Oh, even though. Okay. That.
It's established to us.
In Sif Aleph of raising of the hands at 10 Kohanim from the minyan. V'nimtza she'ein kan asara onim va'afilu hache shapir dame. And we find that there are not, that here there are not 10 to answer. And is this even what a benefit
That again,
up here?
again, so even though that we said in Sif Aleph that Nasis Kapayim Basara, you should have 10 there for the making a minion for Birkas Kohani. And not only that, the Konim are in a minion. You can include the Konim in the 10 for the minion. And here in this situation, you're going to find that you don't have 10 people answering a main, all right? Nevertheless,
Okay, let's see. Afilu hachi. I guess I just lost the place. Nishane de kohanim hamina minyanim zasara oni vafilu hachi shapir dame. I have shane
right?
hatam.
The filo hachi, right? Shapardom, it works out very well. The shiny housam over there in Sipala, it's different.
Oh, shani hach. Okay. The kevan de ikar birchat kohanim al Yisrael nemra. Oh, because they're blessing 10 Yisraelim that they say for. Okay. Chashivei afilu the pachot miasara. It's important even if there are less than 10.
Right. The Ikar Birkas Kohanim, the primary bracha of Birkas Kohanim is going on the Israeli, not the. That's a whole question whether or not the bracha we were discussing about whether women are included in the bracha or not, right? So what about the Kohanim themselves? Are the Kohanim getting the bracha that they're giving?
Oh, that's interesting.
Right. So here you see that the Ikar Birkas Kohanim al Yisrael Nemra Chashivi, that the primary significance of the Birkas Kohanim is going on the Israeli, not on the Kohanim.
Okay, so kulam olim l'ducham u'mevarchim l'Yisrael zeh. So all of them go up and bless this Yisrael. This one, I guess, is one Yisrael. Huh. Okay, Masha ein kain banidon didan shekulam kohanim. Masha ein kain.
Mashenki means in contrast.
Oh, in contrast.
In contrast, the nidon dinan in the case that we're dealing with now, nidon dinan is the case that we're dealing with now.
Oh, that all of the Kohanim. Okay, I guess go lo chashivei levarcham. I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, very good, right?
Levarcham lechudahu ela im ken yesh asara sheikablu abracha b'yanu amen. So lo chashivei.
That they're not, we say that they're not, if when a case where they're all Kohanim, right? And the Kohanim are giving the bracha to the Kohanim, we see that the Kohanim themselves are not exclusively significant enough to have the bracha given to them exclusively, just like we said by the women.
Oh.
Right?
Elim came, but if so, Yesha Sarah, there are 10 that will receive the bracha and answer. Amen.
Elim Cain, unless they're going to have, you need to have 10 Kohanim, meaning if you're not going to have 10 Kohanim that to receive the bracha, it's not significant enough that the Kohanim should give the bracha. Just like the women don't make that critical mass for the necessity of the bracha, Kohanim themselves don't make up that critical mass for the necessity of the bracha.
Okay. Very good.
Okay. Right, now we continue on, Kuf Beis. We said in the
Okay.
Mechaber, right? We said in the, oh, now that goes, now we have to go back to the Mechaber in Chav Vav. So we finished Chav Hey, now you finished Sif Chav Hey, now we can start Chav Vav.
Okay, so it says Kaf Vav. B'sha'a shemvarchim ein lomar shum pasuk. Okay, so let's see. At the time that they are blessing, so no one should say a pasuk, a verse.
Right. At the time of the Birchas Kohanim that's taking place, Ein Lo Meshum Pasuk, you're not supposed to say any verse, correct?
Any verse, okay. Ella yishtaku the kavnu labracha. Okay, but they should be silent. And what have intent, the intention, and they should have intent on, or concentration, I guess, on the bracha itself.
Right.
What pasuk would we think that they would be saying?
That's a good question.
Yeah, we could, there are plenty of psukim to say. I don't know. After there probably are. We'll see when we get to the Mishnah Berura. You'll see it. Or maybe see the Behetiv as well. He's talking about something specific here as well.
Okay, so then the Mishnah Berura Kaf Vav, which begins with Kuf Bet, Ein Lomar V'chule. So one's not supposed to say anything. Okay. Tiklum yesh eved shemivarchim oto ve'eno ma'azin. So let's see. Tiklum, that's because
Let's see.
there's a slave, or a servant who they bless him, ve'eno, and he doesn't ma'azin.
Right. That the Mishnah Berura is saying is following. Again, you're not to say any pasuk. Why? The klum yesh eved shemivorchin oso ve'ena mazin. Is there any situation you'll have when a servant is being blessed and he's not going to enu mazin, and he's not going to pay attention, right? You ever see a servant that's going to be receiving a blessing and he won't pay attention to it?
Okay. Then the next.
That's a rhetorical question.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's obvious. You know, you're in the middle of getting a bracha, and then what are you? You're going to start reading the New York Times. So that's certainly out of the question. But maybe you think that you can say a pasuk. Maybe you'll think, oh, you have a very nice pasuk in mind that'll bring to mind very wonderful thoughts. But apparently no. Just take a look in the Behetiv here. You'll see he's discussing a little bit of the Behetiv, and I don't know if we'll do the whole thing, but in Mem Hey in the Behetiv, that's the other parish of the commentary between the text of the Mechaber and the text of the Mishnah Berura. If you have your sefer there.
Okay, so it says, let's see, pasuk. The Kadvu HaTosafot Perek looks like Aleph Gimel.
That's the Tosas beperik ein noithling. Okay, it's a parak I think at ein noithling. But Basra, I'm not sure. I've forgotten where the Tosas is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Deman, the Chaza Helma Omer. It's not the Rav. Rabbi, not sure.
Okay, the Afagav, the man the Chazi Chalma, right? The person that we see, even though that you see that the Tosas brings down that a person who had a dream. If you remember on Yom Tiv, at the end of the last bracha, there's some are accustomed to say a special hiratzon, a special prayer about dreams. At the Birkas Kohanim, right? So you say, so you're saying that in the middle of the bracha. How can you say you're not supposed to say a pasuk in the middle of the bracha? How can you say that? So that's what he's saying. Afagav, even though the man that has a chalmom rabbonu shoylam, person says that he saw a dream, he can say during the Birkas Kohanim, rabbonu shoylam, right? So if you, how can you do that if you can't say a pasuk, right?
Oh, right. Mishum sakana, because of danger, hitiru sakana.
Because of the fact that a person has a dream, which is disturbing, and it could be disturbing. It's only a disturbing dream. So he has a disturbing dream, and there could be some danger involved because of the dream.
Okay. Shema tzarik refuah lechelma. So he'll need refuah, healing.
Right.
Okay. Uvitrumat hadeshen katav dema shamar. I forgot what this was again.
That so it says here, because maybe he needs some type of a
Remedy
for his remedy, some type of healing for his dream. So therefore, that's why we allow you to do that.
Okay.
Right, because so since it's a sakana, it's different. But simply to say some type of a verse, right? Some type of a pasuk, that'll interrupt your kavanah. You're supposed to have. That's one of the reasons why the Kohanim, some of them cover their hands and even their heads, and sometimes the Israelim also cover their heads at the time of the brachos, because you're supposed to pay attention to the right.
Mm-hmm.
Kohanim, and if you're going to be busy saying things, it's going to interrupt your kavanah.
I'm a little confused about the logistics here. If you wake up in the morning, you had a terrible dream.
Right.
It's so powerful that it's affecting your health. You're going to now wait until the Birkas HaKohanim before you do something about it? Wouldn't you think you'd do something right away?
Well, I mean, I don't know if you want to wake up your neighbors to take care of your dream. You know, it's in the morning after all, right? Calling Magen David Adom is not going to help you too much. Yeah, wait till the Kohanim give their bracha, and then you can take care of it, right? So that gives you a permissibility to say these prayers at the time of the brachas. But I don't see any reference to which type of psukim you would say. Don't know. Maybe there was a previous. Obviously, there was some type of a meaning that they wanted to come. If they're telling you not to do something, there must have been that there was a thought to say it. Exactly what they said. I don't have any information as to what might have been said. But
Excuse me, there was a minute that the tzibur would say, would answer every word of the Kohen.
mhm,
That's the pasuk that they would say.
mhm. Possibly, yeah, could be if that would be a minute that they repeat after the Kohanim the words. That maybe they wanted to put an end to that custom. Could be,
Oh.
yeah. Okay. Right. And again, because that's going to just interrupt the Kavanah. You're supposed to have concentration for what the Kohanim was saying.
It was saying a pasuk was considered a hefsek, an interruption. That's why I said you should not say a pasuk.
Oh, see, I found, yeah, very Baruch Hashem, I found Rav Chaim Palaji, right? Rav Chaim Palaji in his Sefer Moed Kol Chai Kasev, we call Misha Oimer Yomer B'Shas Berkas Kohanim Mizmor L'Menetzeh V'Niginos B'Tzuras HaMenoira, right? Husagula Niflo Shitzliach V'Kol Ma'asav V'Eino Nezek Kol Oso Hayom. Okay, so that's what some people would say that capital of L'Menetzeh V'Niginos. So okay, the people had various customs that developed from one way or another that what they would be doing. Okay, but that's not the Shulchan Aruch. The Shulchan Aruch says, be quiet and listen to the Berkas Kohanim and have kavanah for what they're saying, and that's the way you get the bracha. Okay, let's see. We have a few minutes. Let's continue on with the Ramah.
I'm just curious. It's a side point, but this idea of there's a sakana wearing a refuah from a dream. I never heard this before. That a dream can be that powerful.
Yeah, that's because you grew up in the Western world, Lua. That's why you're not familiar with these things. But dreams are very powerful. There's many. The whole last parak of the Gemara in Brachas deals with the interpretation of dreams, and the Gemara says there that a dream always goes after the interpretation of the dream. That the one who's interpreting the dream has the power to bring good or to bring bad upon the person who's had the dream. The Gemara speaks about there used to be a dream interpreter here. Not sure if he was in Yerushalayim. I can't remember if it was in Yerushalayim, but anyone who paid him a good price for his interpretation, he'd give him a good interpretation. Anyone paid a bad price, he'd get a bad interpretation.
Oy.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So, but he eventually didn't have a very good ending. I think
Business is business.
Yeah. Have to give him a good tip. Right? So yeah, but so the Gemara speaks at length about the importance, the significance of dreams. It's because dreams are, Chazal say dreams are 1/60th of Nevuah. It's 1/60th of prophecy. So a person, if he has a bad dream, it can cause him to be not only depressed, but it can also affect him physically if he takes it to heart too much. So it's very important to try and have a proper attitude towards the dreams. It's the Gemara, the same Gemara there in Brachas, where the very end of the Masechta says David HaMelech said about himself, he never had a good dream in his whole life. Yeah, never had a good dream in his whole life. But he didn't complain. So the power of dreams is very great. unfortunately, the Western world places its thoughts and expectations on other things. But yeah. Okay. I guess that is about enough time. Do we have time to finish the Ramah? Yeah, let's see the Ramah. I think there's just one Mr. Berura and one Mr. Berura on that. That's a little bit long. All right, let's just see there. We'll see. We'll have to finish up next week on this Ramah, but let's see. We can have a minute to just read it over. It says Mikol Makom, nevertheless.
מכל מקום, עכשיו שהכהנים מעריכים הרבה בניגונים, נהגו גם כן לומר פסוקים. Okay, so the Ramah says, what מכל מקום, nevertheless, now the Kohanim lengthen their, I guess their prayers.
They were melodies.
Oh, they're melodies. Oh, benigu with melodies. Okay, lengthen it with melodies. V'nahagu gam kein lomar pesukim, and then they practice saying the practice. They're accustomed, I guess, to saying the pesukim at the end there with the melody.
The tzibur took it.
Right. Yeah, not the Kohanim. They're singing.
Right.
Okay. Ukemoshe nitbaer el siman nun zayin. Okay, so it'll be explained in Siman nun zayin with the inyan baruch hu. Oh, with the matter of baruch hu. Okay. Ach yoter tov shelo le'amram. It's better not to say these words.
Right. Even if the Kohanim are being a little bit melodious in their brachas, it's still better not to say these psukim. You have to realize that the Ramah is referring to a situation where the Birkas Kohanim really took place only on Yom Tov in Chutz La'aretz, right? It wasn't a daily occurrence as it is in Eretz Yisrael. So it could be that the Kohanim, in order to celebrate Yom Tov a little bit more expressively, they would say the Birkas Kohanim with special melodies and that they would have prepared for Yom Tov. But we don't experience that too much here in Eretz Yisrael. We're saying it basically every day. So if the Kohanim would do that every day, maybe they'd lose their customers. It'd be, if we want to get back to business, right? So we don't see. I'm not sure. Maybe the Sephardim do. I'm not sure how they have a little bit more. They had a little bit more melodious to their brachas, if I'm not mistaken. But they don't really go to a great extent. It's not really a full-fledged melodious bracha that they give. But
the German community has special nigana from different Yom Tovim.
Oh yes.
Yes.
They even you should know there's the minhag that they say Shir Malas before Birkas Hamazon. They also have special each event has a special melody for
right.
Shir Malas. Someone gave me a tape. I have a tape that the Rav that he sang each one of the Shir Malas. He said exactly which one it was for Yom Tov Rishon, for Sheni, for Shavuos, for Pesach, right? He went down all over for Sheva Brachas. Each one has a special melody. Yeah, it's beautiful, very beautiful.
Interesting.
Yeah. Okay, we'll stop for now. And then, as I said, anyone wants to join us 9:30 tomorrow, we'll discuss something about the